carvings at the foot of Mount Greylock, nature's own icebox on the outskirts of Stockbridge, a lonesome grave lying deep in the Berkshire Hills.
The cemetery was moved, all except Laura.
Tonight, Mary brings us wild tales from the West. Western Massachusetts, that is. Have you heard the one about Captain Kidd in the Connecticut River? Do you know why they call this place the Counterfeiter's Tunnel? What did this bunker have to do with Julie Nixon? A collection of curiosities, next on Chronicle.
But the most curious story in stone is found atop a mountain in Chester. This is the tomb of Hiram Smith and his sister, Isabel Toogood. Local historian Pamela Donovan-Hall tells the story.
When he was 5 years old, he went to a funeral with his mother, and the grave was full of water, and this impacted Hiram the rest of his life. And as he got older, he decided that he was not going to be buried in the ground, that he wanted to be buried at the highest and most driest place. So he chose a boulder in his pasture, a granite boulder, and had it carved, the inside carved out.
It turns out that Hiram and Isabel are not the only people buried on a mountain summit in western Massachusetts. High above history isn't only found in the woods of western Massachusetts. Here in Huntington, it's underwater. This was Knightville, Massachusetts, until the government removed it for a flood control dam.
Construction began here in 1939. People were forced to leave their homes. These people had to give up their way of life, and they had no recourse. And there still is a lot of bitterness.
The government saved the village founder's home as a historical artifact. Today, it's in ruins. Historian Pamela Donovan-Hall is writing about all that happened here in a book called The Forgotten Valley.
Those people that sacrificed for the sake of strangers should be heard.
Pamela Donovan-Hall is trying to document forgotten history in these hill towns, and she showed us this lonely family cemetery deep in the woods of Huntington. Today, it holds only the grave of Laura Ellis.
Sometime after 1905, the cemetery was moved, all except Laura. Why she wasn't moved, no one knows. She has made us wonder and question. And in a way, a part of me thinks that that should go on for another 180 years.
Throughout the Berkshires, people have placed monuments for us to know who they were. But in just a few decades, they've been forgotten. The hills of western Massachusetts will only hold these stories as long as someone remembers.